Black, we can't hear you.
Well, I've been running my mouth nonstop, so I'm not going to repeat all that shit I said.
Right.
Just know that I am the host, Lee Black. I'm sorry my mic was on mute. It's been a particularly trying day. I'm literally just running in from outside, from running errands, but I'm glad to be here. Wednesday night, this is the final real talk show of the year. I'm glad you're here with us, and I'm sorry you couldn't hear me. I wasn't saying shit that was worth nothing anyway, but we're going to keep it rolling anyway. But I am Lee Black, and this is Tasha McMack from Memphis. What's going on, McMack?
Not much. Just waiting for this good old cold weather to hit, like they say. If it's gonna hit like they say it's gonna hit. That's what I'm waiting on.
I hope so too. I love cold weather for those of you out there who don't. So I'm going to bring in my brother from another mother, Mr. Kenny from Dallas. How's it going, my brother?
I cannot stand you two about this cold weather. Stop it. Stop it right now. I bind the devil on this cast today with this cold weather.
No, we love it. We love it.
I hate it.
Option, I love cold weather.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know, to me, it cuts down on crime. You know what I'm saying? Plus, there's literally some health benefits to it too. You get a chance to kill off, viruses, diseases. The mosquito population. There are some actual benefits to cold weather, but I just love it in general. People seem to move a little bit more purposeful. A lot of the fuckery and foolishness that goes on in the hot weather, they keep their musty ass at home. So it just makes for a better getting around time. Plus, winter's always been good for me because I get a lot of snatch in the wintertime. I do real good in the wintertime.
You ain't sold me on it, brother. Only the snatch part. Okay, maybe the snatch part you sold me on. All that other
women
stuff,
tend to be. Well, let me ask you a question, and we're gonna get into our topic too. But just so you know, this is gonna be a relaxed show, last show of the year. It's gonna go wherever it takes us. So I got a question though. I believe women are more arrogant in summer. Has that been your experience, Brother Kenny? That
I
women
agree
seem
with
to be a
that.
little more arrogant.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sun's out. They can put the hams out. They can do all that. Yeah. I agree with that for sure. Yeah.
Candy from the candy
What's
shop.
up, fam? What's up, Candace?
Telling me. Yeah, so that's why winter's always been great for me. Women tend to be a little bit arrogant, when it's warm outside because they can show a little bit of their body, even if they are built up like a number 3 tub, somebody gonna want that pussy. But in the wintertime, the choices kind of go down. And so, they get a little more humble. They don't want to sleep alone. They get tired of putting that pillow between their legs. So, you get that pussy for a good hot soup and a nice hot bath, in the wintertime. So it's always done me real good.
Okay, I got you.
I'm just saying, What's up, Mr.
What's up,
TFG
brother Lamb?
himself?
What's up, my brother?
That's the man right there, Mr. TFG, real estate insider. That is the man who make it all possible. Good to see you, my brother. Love you. Tasha, I wasn't going to leave you out. Do you think women are more arrogant in the summertime? What's your opinion?
I think both men and women are more arrogant in the summertime and that's only because places tend to stay open a lot longer. Some people may not mind sleeping in the car when it's hot outside, but they might mind when it's cold outside, So there's a difference.
That's a valid point, though. That's a valid point.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You ain't lying. She ain't lying.
Yeah.
She ain't lying. All right, but we do have a topic just in case you guys didn't know. But once again, you can find us on TFG, on YouTube and Facebook, and we fall under the category of ratchet and uncut because we talk shit on this show, so no doubt about it. But we do have a topic for tonight, and in light of we getting ready to go for the holiday season, I wanted to just kind of share a few tips that I thought were pretty cool to help us all cope with the holiday season. We know that for many this can be stressful, and then for some it can be relaxing. For some of us, we can't wait to get to this time of year because it gives us an opportunity to get a few extra days off, to relax, see family, all those good things. But I wanted to pass on a couple of tips, that I think would be cool to share with the fam out there. So that's what we're going to do. In the midst of it, we're going to go wherever this street take us. How's that sound, fellas?
That sounds good to me.
Beautiful. I've heard from my brother and sister in North Carolina. They sorry they couldn't make it. The Postons, Bert and Hannah, but they said to tell everybody love, peace, and have a safe and happy family. And we
most definitely. Same to them. So
it's just us three tonight. My sis Sherry from New York should be joining. So we'll get started. The first tip here is set an intention to care for yourself. Set an intention to care for yourself. I like the word intentional too. When you hear that, what does it make you think of when the word set an intention to care for yourself? Why is that different than just somebody saying, make sure you take some time to care for yourself? What do you think that means?
That means that you are actively putting it on the forefront of your mind, on the top of the list, prioritizing it, so to speak. And it's really easy for a lot of people to get caught up, in the holiday time, to forget about themselves because they're running around trying to get last minute gifts or putting together dinners or different things like that, taking care of everybody else except for themselves.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Anything you want to add to that? Because I love that word, intention.
No. Tasha nailed it. Prioritizing yourself. I mean, the thing is, it's a lot of people that's givers and takers. That's the one thing you'll find in the holiday season. There's givers and takers. So it's a whole bunch of people that do a lot of taking, but they ain't doing a lot of giving. So you got to figure that out and make sure you be a little selfish at this time and take care of your own mental and physical, whatever that may be.
Brother Kenny, can you repeat that last part about be a little bit what?
Selfish.
That word gets a bad connotation.
It does.
That gets a bad connotation. What's going on, Brother Kennard? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Hey, what up, fam? What's good?
Yeah. And so we're starting talking about some tips to help us get through the holiday season. The very first one is set an intention to care for yourself. What does that mean to you?
You're asking me the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, one of those things, it's like being prepared. Everybody knows that, winter is coming, the holiday season is coming. Trying your best, possible to be prepared financially. Your best to be prepared emotionally, to not try to do too much, because I think sometimes during the holidays we try to do too much. We try to impress too much. We try to do things that are well without our means, and then come January, to the middle of January, we're looking like, damn, I spent too much money. I did too much to try to impress you know, because this is a time we trying to impress. We trying to buy a lot of gifts. We trying to buy a lot of things to where, you know, usually this time of year, especially for a lot of companies, you know, maybe the income isn't coming in like that. You have people that get loans and stuff to buy.
I'm gonna stop you right there because we're going to get into.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's coming. So I want you to save that good content because we're gonna delve deeper and it's gonna be specifics. The super fan is in the house, Miss Victoria. Good to see you, sweetheart.
What's up?
But on this very first one, the reason why I like the intention is because when it speaks about having an intention, it's talking about a powerful commitment, making a commitment to take some time out for yourself. And all of you said it right. And I love the point you make, Kenny, about being a little bit selfish. You know, it gets a bad rap when you ever hear the word selfish. But here's the thing. When you've spent all year giving, as you said, Kenny, you know, for you parents out there, what have you done all year? You've been giving, doing, going, running for the job, for your mate, for your children, for other people. Like you said, Brother Kennard, doing those things. To set an intention for yourself, it's important to remember to be a little bit selfish. Save something for yourself because you can't be good to other people if you're not being good to yourself.
Right.
And so one of the points he was talking about is this, even if it's as small as taking 5 minutes out of a day to stop and breathe deeply, to take some time. I recommend more than that, but I recommend that you consciously think about, well, what can I carve out some time just for me? And whatever that looks like, smoking it, drinking it, sleeping, hot bath, whatever that looks like, to take some time out to do something, not for somebody else, but just for yourself. What's going on, sis? Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on, Sherry?
Hey, what's up, Sherry?
Hello, Sherry.
So, yeah, sis, so you popped in and we're talking about some tips to cope to get us through the holiday season. In the interest of time, I'm going to go to number 2, you know, and I'm going to start with you, sis, since you haven't spoke yet. Number 2 tip is be aware of your stress level. Sherry, why do you think it's important to cope with the holiday season, especially that we be aware of our stress level?
Well, stress can kill. We all know that. So, you know, a lot of people get stressed around this time of the year of things they can't get people or things they don't have, you know, and even people around you. So you have to just try to keep, you know, your stress level down so, you know, you won't be sick or depressed.
Absolutely. Valid point. Victoria says, I hate when parents go in debt for one day. Then they pay for it all the next year. They forget the real meaning of Christmas, not how many gifts these badass kids get. Teach them the real meaning. That is so vitally important. So vitally important. And so we're going to get deeper into that as we do. Hello, Candy. How are you, beautiful? Candace, you got a fan there? I want to ask you 3, as you're thinking about the stress level, how does stress manifest itself for you in your life? Because I want this to be very personal. You know, what does it look like for you when you're stressed? How does it manifest itself? Anybody?
Mine is more anxious, like anxiety, like not sleeping. That's the big one. Like I don't sleep. Not so much like with a change of anything else. When I am anxious and things like that, I tend to take in way more caffeine than I should be. So, you know, that'll exacerbate like your heart rate. But especially for this one, like be aware of your stress. I was just having this conversation with my mom and I was telling her, like, we're older. You shouldn't put so much energy into making sure that everyone gets a gift. You know, a lot of parents, some of them subscribe to like you have to get like everyone something,
right?
But I think that once you're married and you're in a relationship and like they have like grandkids, I think for as far as like a married couple, maybe you should get them something as a gift together, and not stress, or get something for the family. So then you're not stressing yourself out so much over it, or even stretching your pocket that much, because you're so worried about trying to pick the perfect gift, or even hell, getting a gift in return. A lot of people stress themselves out over that. So it's a lot for people to deal with when
All
it comes
good
to
points.
stress.
All good points. Kennard and Kenny, how does stress manifest itself for you personally?
Mm, for me, I would say I like one thing that Tasha said is I can't. I mean, it's hard to sleep. You know, you're worrying about okay, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna be able to do that. So you're constantly, your mind is constantly turning. You're
Yep.
trying to think of how you're gonna be able to make this happen, and that's definitely how I normally, my stress is really, because I'm always thinking. I'm in thinking mode and trying to figure it out. And then sometimes, sometimes you can't figure it out. Sometimes you just gotta let it be what it is, and
That's
then
right.
and just be honest with those that and say, look, this is what it is. This holiday season for me. I can only do this, or I can't do this, and then just leave it there. At the end of the day, because that stress will kill you, like Sherry said. So yeah, it's a hard thing to deal with, but then you get to a point where you know what. I got to be selfish. Again, what I said, I got to make sure I take care of my health and whatever I need to
I love it. I
do.
love it. And we can
So,
keep saying that. Brother Kennard, what about you?
I have to, kind of take on what even some of what Kenny said is like, sometimes we just have to be honest with ourselves in where we are and what we're able to do and, what we're able to contribute when it comes to, especially these holidays. There's so much expectation. There's so much, hey, I got to buy this. I got to buy that. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I think the level of honesty with self and the honesty with self enough to be able to implement that honesty to say, hey, look, it's looking real. It's the thought that counts.
right, exactly.
And sometimes some winters, because if we think about winter is a time that I actually talked to this funeral home director. This is crazy because I've run into a lot of people when I'm working in my industry. I ran into this funeral home director. I asked him, what are the trends of death? You know what I'm saying, with y'all? And it turns out in the wintertime is when a lot of this stuff happens. A lot of downfall happens in the wintertime. And if you think about even with companies, a lot of times incomes are a little bit lower during the wintertime. The income is lower, but you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas. But I just think, as you guys, as we're talking, the honesty with self and what you're able to do and what you're not necessarily what you're willing to do, but what you're able to do matches with that willingness. I think that we can cope with this a little bit better when there's a little bit more honesty with self. Hey, I just can't do it. All that's gonna happen this year is I'm gonna give 15-year-old a $50 gift card, and I'm giving everybody else socks.
I'm glad you said that.
There
I'm
you
glad
go.
you said that. Tasha, in particular, has taught me a lot about gift giving because I have always prided myself on that. And Tasha's real like Black. Give a gift card. Let them worry about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she's taught me that. But I want to read something to you guys in terms of talking about stress and how it manifests. Physical cues, muscle tension, elevated heart rate, feeling hot or flush, some form of chronic pain, leaving you feeling anxious, irritable, angry, impatient, overwhelmed, frustrated, depressed. I am currently dealing with a pinched nerve in my neck for the last 2 weeks. The pain has been so severe, I missed days of work. I had to go to urgent care. You want to know why? Tell you how true what you're talking about, Kennard. Here we are heading into the final month of the year, Christmas, and we're supposed to be happy. I'm facing the biggest start of my year and what I do for a living. So how in the hell can I focus on happiness and celebrating this and that when I'm dealing with people who need this? When you talk about taking from you, Kenny, my job requires nothing but people who need something from me. Can you do it? These are grown people. So guess what? I had to learn. It took me all these years. I'll be 55 years old in January. It took me a long time to get to a place where I didn't feel guilty about taking a day off. I used to skip past my holidays, my days off, and felt like I needed to work,
I used to do.
I went in today this morning and I took extra days off. Looked and saw I had some time, and you goddamn right, I took them. And you know what? You have to have that mindset of that shit'll be there when I get back.
Right. Yep.
Nobody's gonna die, because when you get down to it, a few weeks ago, one of our associates committed suicide. This is a true story. We came in that morning meeting. My manager came on crying. Young man had killed himself. We talked about it for all of 15 minutes. How sad it was, how great a person he was, and I feel for his family. I shit you not. Minute 20, well, we got some work to do. And that's what it really is.
That's what it is.
Incredible.
Life goes on.
Incredible. I have a similar story.
They talked about, a special thing that they was going to have for him, and you could show up if you want to. But the point was, the job had to keep rolling. And so it took me a lot of years to realize what I do is important, but it ain't life and death. Right. And so I have learned to have to take some time for myself, because like you said, Kenny, when I realized that my brain won't shut off, because even though I'm sleeping with a night mask and I'm still thinking about work shit and I can't sleep, and then the pain in the back of my neck, and it's time for me to say, you know what? Stop. And you have to be completely selfish at that point, because ain't nobody gonna take care of you like you.
That's why this is my least favorite time of the year. It's not because of the holiday itself. It's because people that are out are vampires. They are energy vampires.
Wow,
that's all they are, because it's give me. I want it now. I need it now. How dare you, basically, hijack my Christmas. Give me. That's why this is my least favorite time of the year, because of what it does to people.
Valid point. Let's jump to number 3. I'm gonna come to you first, brother Kennard.
I feel like
number
you're
3
picking on me, man.
No, man, I tell you, I promise you, I'm not. We don't often get guests on, so we got to take advantage of this, brother.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. Number 3, accepting your emotions. Whew. And I want to ask you something as you answer this. Would you consider yourself an emotional person? And if so or not, what does this mean in terms of accepting your emotions as a way to cope with the season?
Well, I'll tell you what. Typically, I'm not an emotional person, or at least that's how I try to portray myself to be.
Okay.
Maybe I'm more emotional than I think. But I think acceptance in a lot of ways is the best part of coping with something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you accept the fact that, hey, this time of year is not my time of year. I've had a lot of, matter of fact, just it wasn't recently, it was back in 2014. I was a district manager down in Adel, Georgia. And it was a real questionable time. It was like right after the holidays. There was a unit manager that reported to me directly that actually died in a motorcycle accident. And it was absolutely terrible. And the thing is, matter of fact, there's actually ringtones in my phone that I won't use because of this situation.
Okay.
Because it was real jacked up. But at the same time, he passed away. He was my age, probably. I think maybe now he would have been about 40, whatever I am. I ain't about to tell y'all my age, but y'all.
Okay.
But either way,
there you go.
the thing is, it went from my direct manager saying, "Damn, that's kind of jacked up. What happened? We're sad." But about an hour later, we trying to figure out how we gonna cover him.
It's real. It's real.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the message that I want to give to you all tonight, is the lessons that I've learned about not taking my time off, not taking time away, not you know, even now, even like today, it was a little bit long. I wasn't able to spend time with my family the way I wanted to because there was some work stuff that happened. But I did it because I wanted to get it done, not because I felt obligated.
I got you. We got you. We got you.
But the thing is, the message to you guys out there right now is just know that if something happens while you're stressing out, while you're spazzing out, while you're worried, if for some reason your body taps out and says, hey, it's over today, maybe because of the job or not, the job does not care, and they don't have to care. That's
Absolutely. Stop right there. Stop right there. We're going a little off. So I want to get to Sherry. I want to ask you something, sis. I know that you are in a super stressful situation. In case you guys don't know, Sherry voluntarily moved in to care for my mom. You know, my mom's elderly, and she deals with that, you know, and all the stress that can go with that, you know, and she's taking responsibility. Sherry, my sister Juanita, and Jean, and they allow us, the others who don't live there, to have peace. So, Sherry, when you're talking about your emotions, how do you manage your emotions? How do you accept your emotions in terms of coping, especially with this time of year?
Well, the good thing about it, brother, is that our mother is a witness, so she don't celebrate holidays, which is great. You understand?
But you do.
Right. But I'm saying, so what happened is that even though, you know, I would want to be celebrating with my daughter and stuff, I choose to put my mom's first.
Okay.
And making sure she's good. Because if she happy, I'm happy. Because I just feel, I look at people and I see so many people and that I know that don't have their mother anymore. And our mother is 87. She lived a good long life, and I still want her to live as long as she can. Still, you know. So
you didn't answer what I asked though. How do you manage your emotions that you deal with? Because all of that has to emotionally go someplace. Even a little bit you just told me. She doesn't celebrate, but you do. The time you normally would be spending with your daughter, you're suppressing that. How are you managing your emotions? What's up, Charles?
Hey, what up, Charles?
How you doing, man?
Well, basically, me and my daughter, you get me through a lot. Talk me through a lot. And me and my daughter, we constantly stay on the phone with each other and deal, you know, and make each other happy like that until we can see. That's the best way I can tell you.
I get it. Kenny, I'm coming to you last because I got a question for you, my brother. Tasha. Same question I'm asking you that I asked Kennard. Do you consider yourself an emotional person? Yes or no? And how do you manage and accept your emotions at this time of the year?
I am an emotional person. I'm a sensitive thug, though, so y'all just don't know, okay? But as far as this time of the year, what I've learned and what I am learning, acknowledge my emotions, acknowledge them. They're there. They are valid emotions. So don't, you know, nobody can make me feel bad for feeling the way that I do. But I have to lend myself grace to work through those emotions and privately. So if I know that this isn't my time of the year where I don't want to express that onto anybody who that they absolutely love it. So I'll work through it by myself. So I might just separate myself and not partake in anybody's like holiday events or whatever, just because I don't want my mood to overshadow their happiness.
Right.
So.
I was hoping you would say that because sometimes when we say no to events, it can be perceived a certain way when in reality, that might be that person managing their level of emotion and stress that I have to say no right now and do me and deal with me. So I'm glad you said that, Tasha. And Kenny, I'm coming to you because I got a question for you. Before I do want to read Miss Toria's comment. She says, I used to tell my husband all the time, take a day off. When you're dead and gone, that job will say, oh, that Isaac was a good guy. And then that's it. That company going to get replacement someday. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Exactly. That's
Kenny,
facts.
got something for you when it comes about accepting your emotions. As a culture, we're encouraged to suppress emotions like anger, grief, fear, and aggression, especially for Black men. We are taught we got to be strong and have a certain way about us. So for you as a Black man, African American male, how do you deal with accepting your emotions at this time of the year?
Man, that's a great question, and it's for we all can see that Black men, we've had the unfortunate death of Twitch just that happened recently.
Yep.
And so it's a lot of Black men that have been dealing with their emotions, but our society doesn't allow Black men to really express that, and if you express it, then you get stigmatized. Oh, soft, you need to toughen up. That's what you see all the time. Get out your emotions. So a lot of us just suffer in silence, and I can be honest and transparent with that I am suffering a little bit in silence as we speak, because of the last 2 years I've had. But I'm trying to figure out how to better express myself, because a lot of times people say I'm there for you, but I'm gonna be honest with you, they just saying that ish. Most time people don't want to hear you. They don't want, if they don't want to listen to what you got going on. They really don't. They don't check on you like they do. So at the end of the day, it's really just you. So my coping mechanism is, I'll be honest with you, finding some music, writing how I'm feeling down. That's kind of how I'm doing in coping, because you got to have an outlet to let that out, man. If you don't, it'll kill you, and it'll give you crazy thoughts at the same time too.
Man, you went where I wanted you to go, and it's so personal with you, and I love that way you went with it, because I want to start to normalize for Black men sharing our feelings. When I started this show, Tasha knows this. We've been doing this, Tasha, now for 3 years? What people may not know, the show is really called what, Tasha? Real Talk for Real Men. Do you know why I stopped saying the real men part? This is the God's honest truth I'm sharing with you guys. Because in over 3 years in doing this, it's been a struggle to get men to come on and simply open up and have a fucking conversation.
That's true.
So what you two brothers are doing right now, in over 3 years, what does it say that I can go through my Facebook roll and got all kinds of dudes I know? So when I first started this, I thought, oh my God, it'd be a cinch to get to a fucking 1,000 subscribers, because I know all kinds of niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if I was on this motherfucker selling ribs, everybody would be showing up or something. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right.
Whenever I put a funny video about some bullshit, men come out the woodwork. Man, that's funny, blah, 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 snap. Ask a man to open up and articulate how he's feeling. Well, you would think I'm going to hurt you on this motherfucker. So I'm keeping it funky with y'all. So I want to normalize it. One of the first shows I'm going to do of the new year, I've already planned it out, is I want to have a men panel where we talk about just this right here. So I'm going to be working behind the scenes to try my best to get a dais of guys that will come on and open up, because we need to normalize this. Kenny, you just said a moment ago, nobody don't care about you. And you're right in the sense that, you know how somebody said, well, how you doing? We're programmed as Black men to say I'm doing good, because in our head, ain't no sense complaining, no way. Who the fuck want to hear about a grown man saying, man, my neck is hurt. And I've been itching down there for a little bit of while. We don't get to say that shit. Let's keep it real. Tasha laughing.
No, you're right.
She laughing because when you listen to women, they're going to tell you everything that's going on with them.
Right. That's right. Yep.
But we're supposed to keep all that shit in. And I want to normalize where we can say, if nothing else, to each other, man, shit, I'm going through some shit, shit, I ain't gonna last as long as I used to. See, I say a lot of shit that y'all think I'm crazy, but that's what keeps me sane.
I have a question.
Shoot.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have a
No.
question. Just for the men that are on here that may come later on, do you find it easier? Would you prefer to speak to someone about what you're going through for someone that you know, or just an outsider looking in that doesn't know you and is just listening?
Good question. Good
You
question.
know, you know, the problem with that is, I think it's a valid question, but the problem is, like, we really don't want to talk to nobody. To be honest, I mean, you know, like, it doesn't matter whether it's a third party, whether it's a a lot of times we don't feel comfortable talking to anybody about our problems because we've been conditioned that our problems, not necessarily that they don't matter, but I don't want to talk to you about my problems because I don't want to show you that I'm weak, because I've been programmed to say that I'm strong. And then if I start talking stuff about, you know, my problems, then I'm automatically weak. And that's the thing about the black man in America, in my opinion, is that we do not want to be perceived. Well, we don't want to create an outlet to where we are perceived being weak. Now, I say that to say this. I, from a personal standpoint, have gotten to the point to where, yes, I need to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to tell, like, say, my wife, when some stuff is jacked up, that I normally would be like, you know, try to brush it under the rug until I figured it out. And a lot of times you can't figure it out.
Right.
You need to just be upfront and be like, look, this is what it is.
Okay.
And I think the thing about the black man in America is that we, at times, from an emotional standpoint, we don't want to be honest with ourselves. And then at the same time, we don't want to be honest with other people in the fact that our current or external, long-term situation is jacked up.
Okay.
Because
this is why I'm going to do that subject, because you're bringing up so many valid points. Kenny, what about you? You know, to answer Tasha's question.
I probably would be comfortable with a third. I mean, I've done counseling before, and it was with a woman counselor. You know, I was dealing with a lot of depression after the passing of my mother, and some other things. My marriage was going down the drain at that point too. So I did speak, and I'm advising all black men to seek counseling, regardless if a third party. I think it may be better to seek a counselor, somebody that doesn't know you, because in my mind they're coming in with a clean slate. They don't know you from a hill of beans, so you can really be more open and just really tell it from the root. Just give it to them, you know what I mean? So but that may not, some people may not feel comfortable like that. I just find it, I think it's easier to talk to someone that I don't know, because a lot of times the people I do know, again, like I said before, a lot of those family members and friends you think care, they really don't care. They ask you how you doing, but they really don't really care about how you doing.
Okay.
You know, I
can't wait to answer this.
My own experience. So that's my thought.
I was about to say something, but I ain't gonna say.
Let me jump in it, because look, we could get stuck on this one forever. But I'm gonna answer this one. I'm gonna move on. But I want to read some comments. Miss Tori said, high blood pressure and heart disease are the #1 killer in black men. Stress brings on these issues as well. So please, black men, open up and take care of yourself. She followed up by saying, it took me over 20 years to get my husband to talk to someone. He was so stressed at one time, he could not sleep 5 to 6 days, no sleep. He had to drive 1.5 hours to work, 4 a.m., 6 days. Man, so to carry all of that. And that's why I said.
Let me say this real quick, Black. We got to have a safe space. Let me say that, then I'm going to let you. I think for black men, if we got to feel like we got a safe space to really open up to you. If we don't feel like we safe, then we ain't going to open up. That's all I had to say.
That comment leads you organically led to where I'm going to go. For me, to answer Tasha's question, it's always been better to talk to somebody who knows me. it's not that I don't respect those in the field who may have gotten an education in, you know, psychology, sociology, psycho this, psycho that. I have diarrhea of the mouth, as you all well know. I genuinely don't hold anything in. You know, Tasha tells me all the time. She stops me a lot of times. Like, don't say that. You know, you tell to MI. I've been fortunate my whole life. So this is my personal experience. While Kenny, you'll appreciate this. My whole adult life, I always wanted male friends, and it's been extremely difficult to make male friends. I had a lot of male friends when I was younger. But when I became an adult, and I mean a real adult, I'm not talking about when I was, you know, 21, 22. I'm talking about when I became a real adult, when I had real responsibilities. I always wanted male friends, you know, and it's been extremely hard. I had a few here and there, but it's always like one, very scarce. You know, my boy Ken, he committed suicide, and my brother, my boy Price, he ended up having the R. Kelly syndrome. You know, so I had reasons why I had to let them go. You know,
name.
hey, there you go. There you go. For me, it is what it is. Fuck that. I'm not lying. So I dare anybody come on here and tells me, because I'm like, I told the truth. But anyway, having said that, I've been fortunate my whole life to have female best friends my entire life. And the advantage of that has always been that with a woman best friend, you don't have somebody trying to compete with you. I've been fortunate enough to have a woman that genuinely give a fuck about how I feel enough to tell me the truth, even when I don't want to hear it. So when I look at Sherry, I look at Tasha, just a week or so ago, when I had this pinched nerve in my neck, Tasha says to me right out the bat, she said, Black, you kind of being a dick. Sherry told me that me and my sister Sherry and my niece was talking. They said, I feel some kind of way because she was kind of snappy with us, whatever. But it was coming from a place of love. And I love that because with my female friends and my sister's not just my sister, she's my friend. Just because you're family don't mean you have to be friends. I'm fortunate that I get to have my sister and she's a friend.
Right.
But because of that, I can tell them anything, and I do. Shit that I normally should probably tell a man, you know, that if I'm itching down there and got something on my dick head, you know, shit like that I normally would probably keep to myself, I tell them. What the fuck you think this is? You know?
Oh man.
I don't need a therapist because I got them, but I tell you what, because I'm able to be so blatantly and brutally honest and knowing I'm going to get it right back from them, they keep me sane because I do have a safe place that as much shit I do tell y'all, there's shit y'all don't know that Tasha gonna take to the grave. And I know no matter how mad she get with me, she still ain't gonna fuck me over because she know that's something that goes in a different kind of vault. So to answer a question, for me, it's always been better to have somebody who I trust. And I've been fortunate. And even my nephew, we talk about this all the time. We take for granted that we have each other. My nephew tells me shit, and I'm the uncle, the older one, and a friend, and able to give him the benefit of that. And so I know we can stick on this one, but Kenny, you got a brother that actually do care. So when I ask how you doing, you know, I mean that. I do mean that. But I get where it's hard for you to accept that because that's the way it normally is. But again, I want to normalize this. I want to make this normalized. You know what I'm saying? Right. So anyway, let me read a couple of comments and I will get to another one. Victoria says, after he talked to the therapist, he started sleeping again. He only went for a few months, but it saved him. He could have killed himself driving to work. Absolutely. You know, he ran off the road several times, busted tires. He really scared me. He just always been a very private person. He used to think it would make him weak to talk to the therapist. Now he feels differently. So we gotta normalize this. We gotta, and I know you got so much more in you, Kennard, but we hold it, man, because I hope you come on the show. I want to have nothing but men. because we got to normalize this and make it okay. And we're not even going to get to all the lists, but that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, we go down whatever streets that we have to go down, you know. I might even skip over a couple of these, you know, to get to some of the good ones. Last one, Miss Tori says, Tasha, I'm coming to visit you in Tennessee to get some of them secrets.
She wants some of them. She wants some of them Lee Black secrets.
She ain't gonna tell. She ain't gonna. There's some shit she ain't gonna never tell. She got me. I know she got me. I promise. Okay, let's talk about another one. This one, you kind of spoke on it earlier, Kennard, and so I'm gonna let you elaborate now. Realizing that the holiday season is a marathon, not a sprint, you know, and you was talking about how much money you end up spending, and you get to January. So now I want you to go and talk about that, you know, as this a tip to cope with the season, knowing that it's a marathon, not a sprint. You want to add anything to it?
Oh yeah, of course. I want to add the fact that with the whole marathon thing, it all goes back to understanding where you are. You know, if at this point you are not at the point to where you can buy all your nieces and nephews $500 iPads and all this other stuff, if you're not at that point, that's where you are. I think it comes to a state of being to say, well, you know what? This year, or maybe hell, from now on, from a sensibility standpoint, it doesn't make sense for me to do all this.
That's right.
You know, I remember as a child, for example, my mother, my aunts, and all this other stuff, they bought us all type of stuff. And about 15 minutes after opening the gifts, some of the gifts we didn't play with no more. Sometimes we have to understand that maybe our own ego puts us in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
good point. Good point.
You want to smile so bad that after they receive their gifts, that same gift you paid $150 for, by the time you get home, because I'm in a situation where I work at a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week location. So I'm not there to see my kids open their gifts a lot of times. But let's just say I have purchased this $500 gift or whatever. Once they open it and get that gratification, oh, this is great. And then they toss it off, and you wind up coming back from work and seeing that gift that you paid all that money for falling by the wayside. That should give you some insight as to what your focus should be. Now, I'm not saying don't get nice things for your kids.
Right.
Don't get nice things for people. But at the same time, just think about how you feel when you get a gift. You get a gift and it's like, okay, cool. I'm moving on to the next. My light, I would have rather you pay my light bill.
I know that's right.
That's real. That's real.
Or hit me in the cash app.
That's real.
I would have rather. Hey, my car note might be, a month and a half due. I might have to get a deferment.
That's real.
If you're gonna do all that,
right?
So I just think we need to get more perspective.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the holidays.
Absolutely.
And not spend so much money on crazy stuff. But hey, that's my thought.
No, absolutely. Sis, Sherry, in this one right here, realizing that the holiday season is a marathon, not a sprint, how much pressure do you feel to go socialize with people during the holidays? As a reason why I'm asking my sister this.
I mean, I don't really feel no pressure because, I'm just who I am. And, we had a family, motherfuckers wasn't giving us nothing. I ain't got nothing for you. And I tell them straight like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Tasha and Kenny, what about you? Realizing that it's a marathon, what does that mean for you?
It's the hustle and bustle of the year. And so many people get caught up in it and not even taking that time, slowing down and realizing where you are, creating those memories, because it goes by so fast. December has gone by crazy fast. 2022 has gone by super fast to me.
Yes, it
So it's
has.
like just stopping. We on Saturday we did a whole show about like different holiday traditions or what it meant, to us. How many people are taking that time and just acknowledging where they are, like Kanar said, acknowledging where you are, taking a deep breath and be like, okay, well, let me just, kind of put my pulse on where I am and what's going on right now and how grateful I should be, or, just appreciating the moment. That's all. Just appreciate it.
Absolutely. Brother Kenny,
Mhm.
when we're talking about this being a marathon and not a sprint, talk to us a little bit about being grounded in reality, knowing that it's just one day, and why we should look at it that way.
And that's a very, very key point. And Tasha hit something on, she said something that to me, it definitely means a lot more to me, because now I think we talked about this on Saturday too, Black. I'm a little, the older I've gotten, I'm a little bit more sentimental now. So it's the really little things that mean most to me, like taking pictures. I think, in my opinion, I think these moments should be when, if you with family, make sure you capture those moments in videos and pictures. That type thing is more important than whatever gift you're giving them and all that. Give them the gift of your time, and I've said that before. That's the best gift you can give your loved ones, is your time and your attention. Outside of all this going out and buying and putting yourself in debt, give them your time and attention, especially your parents. Just like Sherry's saying, you guys mother up in age. The best gift you can give her is give her your presence, your time, and all that. She could care less about all that. And then it's kind of changed for me now, because my children are grown. Our children are grown. So now it's not as much stress on me, because once they got a little in their teenage years, me and Bridget and I, we kind of de-emphasize Christmas. We de-emphasize giving gifts. It was about, yeah, we celebrated it for them, but we wasn't going all out with all that. We was cooking dinner and we was spending time together and all that. It was never like that. So if you would talk to any of my kids, they don't even trip on Christmas, because as they got older, we didn't put the emphasis on that. We put the emphasis on spending time with your loved ones.
I love that. I love that. And I'm going to flip that time part and flip it over to the B side. If the most valuable thing is time, and we should be giving that to the people we love and respect, we should also realize then, don't give it away to fuckery and foolishness either.
That's
We
true.
don't have
That's
time
true.
to waste on nonsense.
There you
So
go.
this is also a time to check yourself that shit that really ain't important, let that shit go. Let that shit go. And I talk to my sister, we talk about that all the time. Certain things gonna happen, and you got to stop for a second and be like, is this really affecting my life? I got to pay my rent. They don't live with me, sleep with me. Is this shit? Let that shit go, because it's robbing you. Tasha called it vampirism.
Yeah, sucking the blood, sucking the life
the
out of you.
time out of you.
Yeah,
And
sucking your
time
life.
is the one thing we can't get back. Me and Tasha talk about this all the time. When we was younger and working on the job, bonuses was good. Now that you get a little bit older, you know what's the most valuable motherfucking thing you give me? Time off.
I know
Give me
that's
time
right.
off.
Right.
I see your ass every day. I gotta sit in Zoom meetings and pretend that I'm loving what you're saying. So the most
Right.
valuable thing you can do for me, if you fuck with me on the job, give me some time off, so I don't have to see you, so I can get my shit together and come back and then cope and deal with you a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Now, in terms of realizing a marathon, for me, I don't view December no different than June or July. Let me tell you how my tip is. Every time I make it to Friday, you know what I tell there's a mental check I tell myself, made it through another week, I got a paycheck coming. Because you know why? Rent gonna be due on the 1st. Fuck a gift and all that other shit. Rent, car note. When I feel at most peace, when I click on my phone and, okay, just paid my car note, paid my rent, I got gas in my car, refrigerator is full, they can't turn my motherfucking lights off. and I got a couple of weeks paycheck behind me, so they can't put my black ass out here for at least another month. That's peace of mind to me. As I've aged, and can you talk about what's important to you? I don't care about no gifts. I don't want no gifts. Don't look for no gifts. Tasha and I are best friends. We don't exchange gifts. We don't exchange gifts. You know, I love her. She loved me. We it's not necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On Christmas Day, when Christmas Day really does get here, let me tell you what we're gonna do with each other. They got a shitload of basketball games that's gonna be on.
Right.
We're gonna be on the phone talking mad shit about games.
It's some football games on too that day.
Football game too, but
yeah.
I for some reason I view Christmas as the day when basketball really comes alive, and they got some good games. So that's what Tasha and I will be doing. We'll be talking basketball, talking shit, laying in bed, sloshing around in our pajamas and shit. Well, I walk around like Winnie the Pooh. I have a shirt on and nothing on beneath. I like to hang free. So anyway, that's just me.
That went so left. That went
that's
left.
Just me. You know, that's why I like living alone. You know, I'm like, I don't wear no drawers on. I just have a shirt on. So
well, it's a lady out there gonna like you in your Winnie the Pooh. It's a woman out there gonna dig it.
And that's the thing. I don't take my shirt off because I don't like to look at my own titties and stuff. But you know, I'm just saying. All right, we gonna squeeze one last one in here. Victoria said, "My relatives know I'm not going to visit no damn body on Christmas. I do not know where they be going out at. There is them streets. I'm not catching COVID from their tails. I see you on the Zoom call. That's a good valid tip." And I even tell my sister Sherry a lot of times when she go in places, and she says to me, she don't go a certain time because she say, well, if this place they got too much going and coming in, you got to think about. And that was one of the tips too about maintaining a healthy lifestyle. But we ain't gonna get to that. We got one more we're gonna get to, and I think this one is a good critical one to talk about as far as a tip. So I want to kind of cover this one. I think you guys will like this one. Manage your expectations for family gatherings. Not everybody is like Tasha and me. You know, where we're loners. We enjoy being alone. For a lot of people, they're going to Miss Toria visit their family, and people going to visit them. And that's a part of their holiday tradition, and people are going to come over and do all kinds of things, and families going to get together and this and that. What do you think about this in terms of coping when it talk about managing your expectations for family gatherings? Tasha, I want you to go first.
I have already mentally prepared myself for the day that I'm going to have to spend, visiting everybody. I know that there's going to be family there that I don't particularly care for that may express some opinions, about whatever because they just want to be miserable. So I've already kind of set myself up like, okay, I'm going to give you all one day. Everybody will get a few hours and then I'm going home. Don't expect to look for me on Christmas Day. I'm going to be at home because I want to be by myself. But just being realistic, just with the family gatherings, if you know your family is full of drama, expect it. Just go ahead and be real. It's going to happen. Or just already kind of be prepared to know that somebody is going to do their best to ruin it for somebody. Just know it because it's just the nature of people.
I love that. We like to kid ourselves because of the commercials and the marketization of Christmas. Because on the Walmart commercial, everybody's always happy and smiling. When all the families around the table and all that food, and they share it and this and that. But we bros, we black people. Talk to us, Brother Kennard, about how you plan on managing expectations for family.
Well, for family gatherings, you gotta, definitely, get yourself in a place mentally. And just from some old advertisement standpoint, down in Deep South, college football is king. And on the plains of Auburn, the battle cry is War Eagles.
There you go.
But either way.
All right.
No, but here's the thing. And I love this. I love this part of the program because you got Pookie. That's your cousin. You got Ray Ray. You got Shaquana that's gonna pull through, and they gonna do all that they got to do. And guess what? You got a good job. And you come through there like, hey, cuz, no, cuz, I don't. I'm here, but I want to spend time with you in a amicable fashion, but I ain't trying to smoke with you. I ain't trying to do too much with you. You know what I'm saying? And the part that, especially in the African American community, they have to understand that, hey, look, yes, about 10 years ago, yes, I was in the circle too. I was smoking with you. I was doing all that stuff. But now I just want to come home and enjoy. Matter of fact, real talk. I went home yesterday, a couple of days ago, and I spent time with family, and it was great spending time at home. And you know what's so great about it? No buffoonery.
Oh.
Oh, damn, Tasha.
I thought it was you get to leave.
Yeah, no
That's what I should be thinking, but I feel you.
Yeah, I got a chance to spend, time with my mother, and I'm like, hell, it had been a few months, and and a lot of folks don't get that, especially I don't know what we got going on with black folk. When it comes to the holidays, all the dirty laundry is aired out, and we got to do all you got the N-words fighting in the front yard over some shit that happened like 15 years ago. And then you got people reliving the high school basketball years. And I'm like, look, okay. All right. I love all of you all dearly. I mean, as a matter of fact, you don't know how much I love you. But, and that's a huge but, we got to get away from this whole holiday expectation to where it's got to be bull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
And at the same time, you got the cousin that's in jail that everybody trying to, no, we ain't calling him this year.
I see. You know what? I like what you're saying, because that's where sometimes we have to make some hard decisions for the betterment of everybody else.
Like, we're not calling you this year. We trying to.
You have to make that.
Look, bro, cuz or whatever, dude. Let's just face it. You killed 5 people.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we are not.
We damn sure don't want him there.
Yeah. We ain't calling you. But I will say this.
You said a minute ago, you got a good job. I don't need no felonies on my record.
I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? So I will say this, man. Y'all just don't know how. Man, what's the word? Because usually I'm good with words. Therapeutic.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
This was because the N-word tree always happens during the holidays. But we have to change the narrative to be like, look,
we trying, man.
We got to change the narrative to be like, look, we don't have to be like this no more. We don't have to do this no more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody keep trying to.
We just don't. We just don't.
Putting these blocking this person.
Sis, the bros and cuz, we got to get rid of that.
Sis, I got a question for you. We got a little static. That's why I've been pausing a little bit. How do you, sis, plan on managing the expectations for family that might come around? Did I lose? Oh, sis, how you plan on, because you're right. Mama don't celebrate Christmas, but it's going to be visitors coming over. How you plan on managing family gatherings, even though it's not a formal gathering? What's the plan for you? How you plan on managing that to cope with the season?
Well, brother, you know how I am. They know how I am, and they come here talking about, oh, y'all ain't be cooking. But did you bring the motherfucking food over? Like, you know me. I tell them in a minute, ain't no motherfucking grocery store. Like, what's in there to eat? You get in there, eat it, and that's it. Mama don't celebrate Christmas. What's the? You know how I am. I tell them straight.
Absolutely, good point. But I also hope in that you find a balance. Because even though mama don't celebrate, when different ones come over, remember, it is a celebration for them. So it's a delicate balancing act that I will talk about, that I hope you do, because we both know, even though Eloise Young doesn't celebrate, she's happy to see family. It's amazing how even amongst Jehovah's Witnesses that don't officially celebrate, but they eat turkey on Thanksgiving and they listen to music, and you have to, it's a delicate balancing act, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure you're balancing that and keep peace, because especially in this case, there's different factions that you want to have to consider, and make sure everybody is balanced. So you want to try to keep peace. Brother Kenny, what's your plan, my brother, for managing your expectations for family gatherings?
Man, this has always been my plan, even prior to this. If I was visiting family members, I definitely would drive my own car, because I can leave after about an hour or two. As much as I love my family, I know me, about an hour or two, I'm ready to go be in my house or by myself. Definitely this year, it's gonna be more intimate. It's just gonna be me, my children, and my granddaughter. I ain't gonna be doing nothing. Less stress. So me personally, again, I love my family, big family. If y'all don't know, Candace is my cousin. Her grandmother and my mother were sisters, so we got a big family. But on Christmas and stuff, I ain't traveling. I ain't trying to be going over my family. I would go visit the aunts maybe, and that's a wrap. After an hour or two, I'm out. And I'm just at the house sitting on the couch. So.
Well, I want to give my last tip, because there might be some people out there who's in my situation. I have mostly lived in cities where I don't have family, pretty much my adult life. And so there have been times where I've been invited to celebrate the holidays with somebody else's family.
Yeah.
And so there is a special etiquette that goes along with that as well. Kenny, you said one of them. Quite naturally, I drive my own vehicle. I wanted to be able to have the independence and autonomy. That if some shit is going that I don't like, I can leave whenever I want to leave. But I also want to offer for anybody in that situation where, if you're going to visit somebody else's family, and think about what Kennard talked about, when Ray Ray and Shanae is there, and motherfuckers is packing up plates in the kitchen, and all kinds of shit is going on in the background.
Right. Yeah.
You have to be cognizant that this is family. It's what happens. Be prepared. Don't be shocked. And there's an etiquette that you have to carry yourself with too. And some of it is just being able to know when to get out the way, to be respectful of that family's traditions, because that's another thing. Every family don't celebrate the same. They don't do the same things the same way. I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I have been at situations where, okay, everybody hold hands and let's pray. Something as simple as that. Well, I don't know how much you know about Jehovah's Witnesses. They may not be praying to the same God I'm praying to. But rather than make a big scene about it, because there are those that, oh no, you don't serve Jehovah. My thing is, it's a way to do it, to be respectful to that family. Yes, you can hold hands. You can bow your head, and be respectful of the tradition, Now, silently, I'm saying my own prayer to God, or even if they say amen, I may not say amen, because I may not agree with all the shit that they saying. You know what I'm saying? But it's a way to do it.
That's the point. Good point.
You want to be, so you want to be cognizant of that. And so that's another little tip I'll pass along. Now, it just so happens that I've got to a place in my life where I don't want to visit anybody. Tasha knows this about me. Thanksgiving, I might visit you because the food. I might go for the food. Christmas, I've always kind of been this way. I like spending Christmas alone. I genuinely love waking. I don't even open my blinds at all. It's supposed to get cold. I hope it does. As I'm ending the show, I'm back where we began. I'm praying for this cold weather, because guess what, Kenny? If it really hits like it's supposed to, when I get off work tomorrow evening, I'm going to close my blinds, and I will not open my blinds up again till Tuesday. I don't give a damn about what it looks like outside, what's happening outside. I'm running all the errands right now. This is my tip too. because I'm gonna get everything I think I need. I have not eaten yet today. Right before the show, I went and got me 2 orders of fajitas mexicanas with the motherfucking
Mm,
shrimp, steak, and the chicken. I went to
mm.
Kroger's on my lunch break. I got me some cookies and cream ice cream. I got liquor.
Oh yeah.
I got food. I got
Oh,
chips.
you good to go.
I got kid. I got everything I genuinely think I might want. Because when I close them blinds tomorrow evening, the world for me really doesn't exist out there. I love being in my own little cozy world where I can walk around with no drawers on, playing the music how I want to, eating and drinking just how I want to. And for me, that's how I'm going to cope with getting through this holiday season.
No, you ain't. Because I'm gonna be knocking on your door on Sunday morning.
Nobody's gonna be knocking on my door. I don't have family that live here. I'll talk to my sister. I'll talk to Tasha. G. Paul, appreciate you giving us a shout out. He said he's laughing at us. So he's watching the show. My brother, I want to have you on, nephew, at the beginning of the year on that men panel show. But anyway, this has been the last show for us for the year. That doesn't mean I won't be on social media. You know, I'll pop in and give my opinion on shit that I find interesting. I might even come on camera doing these last couple of weeks or so, last 10 days of the year, and blow my stack about whatever. But this is the last show, that we're doing.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to enjoy it with you guys. So I appreciate you. So I'm gonna give everybody an opportunity, to say whatever they want to say as we end the season for Real Talk. Who want to go first? Whatever you want to say. I guess I'll go around the dais. You're the first person I see. Sherry, what do you want to say as the last show of the year for Real Talk?
I want to say I enjoy all this family on here. I love y'all. We had a good year. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And don't stress yourself. Tell motherfuckers where they can get to going.
Gotcha.
That's what's up.
Brother Kennard, you next.
Oh man, I'm glad to happen to pop on. I absolutely didn't know this was the last show of the year.
Yeah.
We've been kind of doing this thing for a few years now.
Man.
And definitely thankful for the camaraderie. Definitely thankful for the dialogue and the content that we've been able to create over the last few years. And wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And thank you for having me on tonight.
Always, my brother. Always.
My fan.
Always, my brother. Tasha, I'll see you next.
Oh, well, I echo everything everybody else says, and I can't wait to see what 2023 is going to be because I feel like it's going to be a doozy. So
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Brother Kenny, what you got for us?
Man, I want to say, man, I am just I'm truly honored to be a part of such, I think, one of the greatest shows on social media that a lot of people may not know about, but y'all need to check this out because it's some great content coming from both Brother Black and Miss Tasha. So, and I'm just proud to be a part of this movement because I think I'm gonna call this a movement. This is a movement. 2023. Let's gather the slogan, the new movement. We're gonna be talking about stuff, and we're gonna be breaking down this ice between men and women. I think that's one thing that I want to see. I want to see us have better relationships with one another, definitely in 2023. And so I definitely am honored, Brother Black. I appreciate you, brother. Miss Tasha, I appreciate you. The Memphis Pimp, I appreciate you guys. And we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. And my last thing, I got one more show for TFG Sports Media. I'm doing the New Year's Eve show, 11 a.m. Y'all come check me out. I'm counting down the top 5 sports stories of 2022. That's December 31st at 11 a.m. I know y'all ain't gonna be doing nothing. Matter of fact, that's a national semifinal day. We're gonna have them semifinal, but I'm gonna be on at 11 a.m. counting down my top 5 top sports stories of 2023. You guys make sure y'all come check me out on TFG Sports Media, 11 a.m. on December 31st.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I want to end by just saying how proud I am to know all of you. I've already shared with you guys that for the most better part of my adult life, I've lived in a city where I don't have biological family. So I've had to supplement that with, you know, having family that wasn't, biological, but God in his infinite wisdom, justice, love, and power puts people in your life that you really, really need. And I'm proud, I get happy every time I see you guys. You guys keep me sane. I genuinely love everybody that has been a part of what we do here, because I do take it serious in the sense, Tasha knows this. We don't put on a show if we're not going to give it genuine interest, and that's how serious enough we take it. But with that said, we also realized that we needed to give ourselves grace to stay healthy mentally, emotionally, and physically. And so this year we took time out for ourselves. And I found that as we ended the year, it was a great decision. It allowed us to stay fresh, to come in with content and to be mentally focused and to be able to laugh and enjoy. And we're going to continue to do that. Tasha and I, in case you guys don't know, we'll use this time off to kick around some new things that we want to try for 2023, because as she said, it's going to get strap in because it's coming. It's going to be some new shit. So we're going to change up some things, add some things. And so, yeah, like you said, Kenny, my goal is the same. I hope that we can improve relations, because you know what? When I first started this and I said men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and I said, I don't know where I fit in, I'm starting to see a slow change. I'm starting to see it just a slow change a little bit, because for a little while, women, you guys have been sitting at the top of the food chain, and heavy is the head that wears the crown. I said this before, and I'm going to end it by saying it now. Ain't no substitute for a hard, stiff one in you that got some veins. And
You were
so I
doing
think,
so well.
I'm keeping it nice. I'm keeping it nice. And so I think because you guys have been sitting at the top of the food chain, I hope that you've learned to appreciate the value of what we bring to the table. Because here's where I'm gonna real be nice, Tasha. We miss y'all.
Yeah,
We can't be alone either. Not
that's
everybody
true.
out there, wants to take it up to behind quarters. And shout out to my gay fans. But some of us still like Snatch, and we need y'all. We want y'all. We love y'all.
Oh
We
boy.
thank you for this opportunity.
Boy.
This will probably be our last show.
No, this is shout out to every. I'm all inclusive, and an equal opportunity offender. And if I offend you, that means I respect you. I love you, because everybody know Black love the hoes. I love them hoes more than they love themselves. But I'm just gonna tell you. So I'll close out. I'll close out with Victoria. She says, another great show. Happy holidays to you all. I have so much love for you all. Stay safe and good night.
We
And
love you
that's where I want
too,
to
Miss
end it.
Tori. Love you
Enjoy
too.
the holiday season.
Yeah.
Don't take me too serious, folks. I'm having fun. I'm laughing. But on a serious note, I love you all. Stay
Love you
safe.
too, brother.
Enjoy the
Love you
season.
too, man.
Everybody be good to each other. Take time for each other. And again, keep it real and keep it fun. Don't take yourself too serious. Life is too short. God bless. Everybody have a good night.